You know how in real life you say, if I'm hungry and broke, will I cry? Well, Java thinks the same way. Let's learn how. Today, we're leveling up your if-else skills with logical operators. This is how we combine multiple conditions in Java like a logic bus. So the question is, what are logical operators? Well, in Java, we have three primary logical operators. The first one is the AND, the second, the OR, and the third, NOT. So if you have done what we call IFT in your software engineering program, you must have done logic gates and logic operations. So what does this mean? And how is it going to help us in our code or even writing a software that could help us run your simple switch or your simple circuit or even a full complex robot? Well, using the AND operators, we see that the AND operators contain two signs, and these signs are known as the ampersand. Okay, so we have two ampersand signs, and what does this stand for? It says it returns true if both operands are true. Next up, we have the two pipe signs. So those two straight lines are called pipe. Now those are called the logical OR operator. Now they return true if at least one operand is true. And next we have the NOT or the logical NOT, which returns the opposite of the operand Boolean value. True becomes false and false becomes true. Okay, it still sounds confusing. So how do we know which is which or what is supposed to do and which is supposed to do what? Okay, so we'll find answers to these questions by running real life example. So let's get started. Head over to your IntelliJ IDE and I'll meet you there. Okay, so in our IntelliJ IDE, I'm just going to get rid of this line of code we wrote before. All right, so now we want to check the first logic operator, which is the AND operator. So we said that the AND operator returns true only if both are true. So how is that supposed to help us? Let's see. So imagine a situation where there is a party and the only people allowed to go in the party is people who are within age 18 above. So how do we allow these people, and for them, for us to confirm that they're age up to age 18, they must have or possess an ID card. So how do we check if they're up to 18 and still possess an ID card in one go using an if statement? Normally, if we were to type this using the if statement knowledge we have, we could say my age, or for instance, is equal to 20, and Boolean has ID, which means do I have an ID card, and I can set this to true. Okay, so now the normal if statement would go like if age is less than 18. So this was what we did in our previous video, but now we're going to introduce the logic operator and. So since we're checking if the age is greater than 18 and I have an ID card, so just listen to my statement. If age is greater than 18 and I have an ID card, so I'm saying if age is greater or equal 18, that is the limit for entering, then we say plus or and I have an ID card, which means has ID. Okay, I don't know if you're getting this. So this is on its own is a statement in code. So what I'm saying is if age is greater or equal to 18, remember if we say greater than 18, it means the user has to be 19 years of age. But if we say greater equal, meaning from 18 above, okay? So now we're saying if the age is greater or equal to 18 and just as you're saying it in an English statement, and the user has an ID, permits him or her to go into the party. Okay, so this is what we're going to do now in this bracket. So if the age is greater than equal 18 and using the ampersand and has ID is equal to true. Now, since we have already checked has ID equal to true, we do not have to repeat this here. Instead, if I want to say I have ID equals to false, I would show you how I would do that using the negative or the not operator. Now, has ID, since has ID is equal to true, then we can print this. System.out.println, you are above 18. Welcome to the club. Let's add that. Welcome to the club. Okay, so that would be our answer, our little line of code in the console. Then next, we're going to check else using the else statement. We say, okay, you could also add another line of code. You are under 18. You are not allowed. You're not allowed. So that is final. So now let's see what goes on. My age is 20 and has ID is equal to true. Now notice two statements are true. So the first statement, age, is true because I'm greater than 18. Now notice, and the second statement is equal to true. So what will happen? We should have true, which means this first statement should run. Now let's see. Exactly. So you are above 18. Welcome to the club. So I hope this is very clear and understandable to you for the first example. Now for the second example, I'm just going to comment the entire code right here. All right. So you could do double comments if you're interested. And I just have to remove this. Okay. So for this now, we're going to go for the OR operator, which is two pipe. So we're going to say okay, let's use something else. Let's use another boolean for this time, something meaningful that you could understand with ease. So let's say it's weekend, and let's say it's holiday. So just note this is like a naming syntax for boolean. You're asking if is possible, is working, is holiday, is cool, is it's logical for your own understanding. So it's weekend, but it's not on holiday. So let's put false right here. That is how we get to know what the not operator does. So okay, let's go now. If so, notice how I write this. Okay, is weekend, else is holiday. So I'm going to explain what this does. So we're going to print out no work today, no work today, and else we're going to print out uh work today, or you better get up. I think that's better. You better get up. Okay, so now notice this. What are we trying to get here? So only one condition needs to be true for the for the for one of this code to execute. So the first thing is weekend is equal to true. Is holiday is equal to false. So now we're checking if is weekend is equal to true. Then if that is true, then let's see what the console will print out. It prints out no work today. Why? Because it's weekend. Now let's explain this using comment. So the first statement here is true. Then the second statement here is false. So this is really logical for you to understand since we're using the true false, unlike the initial one we're using the idea of 18. Okay, so this is this. Then what should we get? A true, because the initial statement is true. Now let's reverse this. Let's put this in false and let's put this in true. Let's see what's going to be printed to the console. Still, you get the same thing, which is true, true, because one statement remains true. Now, for this to be false, what do you need to do? For this to be false, both statements has to be false. Okay, so for the or to be false, both statements have to be false. But immediately one statement is true, the or will always print as true. So since both statements are false, so is today is weekend, is holiday, we're still on, it's weekend is false, so this is not the weekend. So it's like Monday to Friday. This holiday is false, meaning you are on your working period, so you better get up and go to work. But if one of this is true, say we're on holiday, but we are not in the weekend, as we're not in Saturday or Sunday, but we're in the holiday, then there's no need to work since there is no work at all. I don't think if you're getting this. So if both are true, what do you think? We expect no work today because it's weekend and it's we're on holiday. So both statements are true. So for the or operator to equal false, both statements must be false, because you can't use an or operator for true false to check if something is going against. You use the or operator to check to get that statement like this. Now it's like if it's weekend and if it's on holiday. So if it's Saturday and Sunday and if we're on holiday, so therefore when you're on holiday you don't work, but we just want to know if it's weekend. Okay, so that's the point. So let's go back to true and false. So if it's on weekend and we're not on holiday, you don't go to work on weekends, so no work today. Okay, so let's not spend too much time on this. Let's go to the another boolean. So let's use another word saying if is tired is equal to false. Now here is the not operator. So we're taking this out and we're taking this out and we're replacing it to, okay, let's just take this entire statement out. So learn to type from scratch. So if is tired, exactly what I want. So if is tired, system.out tired, okay, or then else not tired. So because I said is tired is equal to false, what should we get? We'll get not tired, because I'm not tired. If I'm tired, print tired. That's what it means. If is tired is equal to true, print tired. Else, if it's equal to false, print not tired. Now, if I want to get this statement tired, what should I do? If I'm tired and I want to tired to be printed to the console, it's as simple as putting this, an exclamation mark, makes it not tired. So if I said I'm not tired, what will bring it to the console? Of course, tired, because is tired is equal to false, meaning initially I declared that I am not tired. But if later on I feel I'm tired, all I have to do is to negate the value of is tired, which takes positive and negative to positive. Sorry, to make the negative value a positive value, not negate. Okay, negation is when you're making a positive negative. Okay, so just make that to the negative form, to the positive form, meaning you are going to make this negative and the answer becomes positive. So I don't know if I'm confusing you. Just know that since this is false, the not of false is true. Then if this was to were to be true, say is tired is equal to true. Of course I'm tired. Then I will just put in here and to make it false, meaning I'm going to have not tired right in my console. Okay, so that is the example of the three logical operators. So sorry I deleted that former one. I just wanted to comment them out, so you still have the code. Okay, so now let's go into Okay, let's do a mini form example. Let's say int temp equals 30, and that's temperature. And let's take our boolean. Okay, and our flag would be is raining. It's raining, and we set it to true. So what am I trying to do? I'm trying to build something like a weather temperature. Okay, so what are we checking for? We're checking for the temperature. Now the temperature is 30 degrees. So we're saying if the temperature is less than 25, is greater than 25 degrees, and so we're speaking English now, and let's see how to combine the not with the and operator. And so if the temperature is greater than 25 degrees, meaning if the temperature weather is hot, okay, and it's not raining, you see, we're still speaking English, and it's not raining. So what I'm doing here now is saying if temperature is greater than 25 degrees and it's not, so that's what I mean by this exclamation mark is not raining. Sorry, it's not raining. So that is what I mean just by this line of code. Okay, so you need to learn how to say it in English before transferring or transforming it into a line of code. So if you know how to say it in English, it becomes easier for you. So that is that. Then we're going to print system dot out dot whatever great day for ice cream. Okay, then else, so you could do whatever suits you. Else you could say let's stay inside and cold. So let's replace this. Let's stay inside and cold. Okay, so that's for that. So what are we what should we expect? So we have something that the weather is greater than 25, which is true. The weather is actually greater than 25. Then it's not raining. Its rain is equal to true, meaning the weather is dry. So what are we expecting? Comment that below if you know the answer. So we should be expecting um the second line of code, which is equal to which is equal to sorry, which is equal to let's stay inside and cold, because the weather is above 30 degrees and it's raining is equal to false. Okay, so if we take sorry, is equal to true but the negative value of it's raining. So if we take it's raining to be equal to false, and okay, so it's great day for ice cream. Okay, because it's raining is no longer true. Sorry, it's raining is not true here. Why it becomes false here? Okay, so okay, so here's a more detailed explanation as to why we're saying it's raining is sorry, since it's raining is true, but we're seeing the second line of code that says let's stay inside and code. So it's very important to get this. Notice we're combining two logical operators right here. So we're combining the and operator and the not operator. So initially, though we can see that the temperature is greater than 25, which is 30, and its raining is set to true, but the negative value of its raining is set to false. Okay, so then now we're having two things. We're having, sorry, let's push this a bit. We're having true and false. Okay, so we're having true and the negative of true, which is false. Okay, so in the and operator, which is this, in this operator, sorry, in this operator, this and over here, which is the logical and, it requires both sides to be true for the entire condition to be true. So since both are, one is true and one is false, this cannot be true because it requires both operations to be true. Then In this case, since we have one side true and the other is false, the entire condition temp this it evaluates to false. Okay, so this is how we tweak a logic gate. Okay, so just basically one simple move. If we're to leave this to be true, then we'll have true true, which will give us our first line of code. Great day for an ice cream, which is we now have true and true, which is equal to true. But since we're now saying no, we don't need true true, we need true false, then we get false. Okay, so it's really important you know how this works so that you do not say, okay, I'm coding like I'm speaking English. Okay, now normally if someone tells you the temperature is hot and it's raining is false, meaning it's not raining outside, you expect this line of code to print out. But since we are using logical operators, we do not think that way. We think with logic. Okay, so that is what I just wanted to point out very well for you to understand. Okay, so hopefully you now speak Java logic like a pro. Next up, we'll build a decision making mini app using what you just learned. So please like this video, and if your brain just level up, please, a subscription to the channel would be subscriptious. And so please sub to the channel and hopefully leave a comment of whatever you you discovered while writing logic code, or where you got stuck or what you don't understand. Just leave a comment and comment your favorite logic meme, and see you in the next one. Have a great day.